What is up everyone, this is impaKt, and in this video I'll be talking about my favorite champions for solo queue in patch 3.15. I'll be taking into account champion difficulty, laning phase power, teamfight utility, and overall badassness. First on the top of my list is Annie. Pretty sweet, innocent girl that can and will abuse your enemy's mispositioning and mistakes, especially during the laning phase. As soon as your enemies take a slight step in the wrong direction, they can pretty much expect a fiery bear of doom dropped on top of their head. So is she that good? First of all, her cooldowns aren't that huge, which makes her passive stun pretty damn reliable. She also has a shield that will boost your armor and MR while reflecting damage dealt to you with basic attacks, which is pretty much perfect for the bottom lane. She also has an incredibly good level 1 thanks to her passive and incinerate, which can lead to a level 1 5-man stun. There are a couple of things, however, that truly make her godlike. First of all, it's her auto attack range. Harassing with autos is as safe as it can get, and you almost don't even have to worry about getting harassed back. Other than that, her base damage is huge. You don't even need points in the offense tree or AP items. If you reach level 6, your enemies are going down in flames, because it's Hivers. She does have counters though. When she doesn't have stun, which will be pretty often from level 1 to 3, she'll be exposed. Enemies with gap closers, a lot of poke damage and CC can take advantage of that. She struggles against the sorts of Sivir and Leona, and Zilean, Kayle or even Morgana can deal decently against her. Still, her pick-off potential as well as teamfight utility and laning phase over freaking powerness grants her the first spot on my list. Secondly, Leona the Sun Lady. After patch 3.14, she started dealing damage based on resistances. You don't think that's OP? Try harassing her. She has a gap closer, 3 CCs, and yeah, I'm counting Zenith Blade as a crowd control, a damage shield, amazing engaging potential, amazing peeling potential, and a passive that will boost her AD carry's damage by crap loads. She's incredibly good in solo queue because she's versatile while being able to pick off champions. And that's one of the things that I think is most important in solo queue, pick off potential. She's also incredibly good because she's probably the best kill lane support in the game right now. And if you start getting kills during laning phase in solo queue, chances are you're gonna win that game. The problem with Leona is that she needs to be ahead of her enemies, which isn't that hard to do. But if you start falling behind because you engaged when you shouldn't have and you died, then your resistances won't be able to keep up with the enemy's damage. So pay really close attention to that. But to be fair, even if you start falling behind, just ask your jungler to gain bottom lane. If you're getting pushed under your turret, it won't be that hard to land your CC and win the fight 3v2. Third spot on my list goes to Karma. Yeah, you heard me. Karma. In one of my previous videos I mentioned everyone should try to master a support champion for each lane type. Sustain, kill, and poke. With the latest changes, Lulu and Zyra kinda fell off, which allowed Karma to rise up to the challenge. So why is she good? So first of all, you have Mantra at level 1, so you'll have both Inner Flame and Soul Flare available from the get-go. 2 skills. She has a single target shield, AoE movement speed buff, a ton of poke potential during the laning phase, but what really makes her shine is the new gold income buff. Nope, not going to tell you to build AP, just try rushing Talisman of Ascension. You should have it during the mid game, so it means that your team will have a 40% movement speed buff, plus the 60% AoE movement speed buff provided by Defiance. Now just imagine those two actives with a Hecarim or a Volibear on your team. Your enemies will either shit themselves or just die before they even get the chance to. Her kit makes her incredible in siege and poke-outs, but her pick-off potential does require several members of your team near you in order for it to work. So that's pretty much why she's so low on my list. But as you raise an elo, the more your teams will start looking for early turrets and such, so she'll be more and more viable as you climb up the ladder. She sort of struggles against hard engage because she lacks escape tools, but if you can survive being engaged on by Leona, then you can probably turn it around. As with every other poke-based support, she also struggles against the sorts of Sona because of the sustain element involved. To face these champions, you'll have to abuse level 1 to 3 and dry out the opponent's mana resources. Fourth, Thrash, my sweet and dear Soul Reaper. Even though he has been nerfed throughout the patches, he's still pretty damn awesome. Everyone already knows what he does. Death Sentence provides a pretty decent CC duration as well as gap closer. Flay cancels engaging skills like Leona's Zenith Blade, and it can also slow your targets and provide an easier death sentence. His lantern is pretty much useless because no one clicks it anyway! And his ult can also have a lot of uses. It can single-handedly zone out the team's backline completely, giving your AD carry a lot more time to kill the frontliners. His skill potential in lane isn't as great as he used to be, but it's still good. His Flay still deals a lot of damage, and if you try starting with a Red Elixir and land the Death Sentence at level 2, it's pretty much first blood. I like cheese. So bottom line is, his teamfight utility is great, and so is his pick-off potential. His laning phase isn't as great as it used to be, and he can be easily dealt with, but he's still good in every stage of the game. The reason why I'm placing him 4th is pretty simple though. He can be played on the poke lane and kill lane, and there are supports that can do either a lot better, so he doesn't really shine in lane, unless you're a Mad Life. In which case, I'll just bow down to you right now. And last but not least, have you ever been near a bush and started walking really slowly all of a sudden? It's fucking Nunu, bitches! Most people have totally forgotten about this bad boy, but let me explain my reasoning. New vision system, less wards, more room for sneaky ultimates. Less alternatives for poke lanes also means there is more room for decent substitutes. Get magic penetration on this guy, get 3 points on his snowball early, and watch as the enemy ADC weeps from attack speed reduction and uber damages. Not enough? Movement speed increase, attack speed increase, which pretty much equals to an extra Phantom Dancer on your carry, and you can just either spam snowballs in lane with Ancient Coin, or you can go for Relic Shield and not make your ADC lose CS when you consume a minion for HP. Still not enough? Try getting a DFG on this guy. Remember that I'm talking about solo queue guys, and land a sneaky ult with DFG, Snowball, and Ignite. The best way to do this is by picking Nunubot's skin, wiping someone out, and then spamming Laugh for extra style points. He has a lot of pick-off potential right now, but it requires you to be one step ahead of your enemies in order to position properly. He's good in team fights because of his Blood Boil and Snowball, but he kind of lacks the presence that other supports may give you. But if your team fights in the jungle, then you will have room to use Absolute Zero. Just be wary of them evil sustain lanes that can ruin the fun for you. Yeah, I would also really appreciate if you guys could click the lantern, please. And by lantern I mean the awesome subscribe button, obviously. Please. Don't be a stranger, be a part of the lantern clickers. As always, feel free to leave me a comment and like the video and follow me up on Facebook and Twitter. If you have a question, I always reply to everyone on my social media pages, so make sure to click on them links. And also, in case you missed my last video, I'm doing a Riot Nice Skin giveaway January 1st on my stream, and if you want to apply, make sure to check out the vid for the steps required. So thanks a lot for watching, good luck, have fun, and until next video, peace! Ha 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 ha.